Yo, what's going on? I have got Carla here, also known as LittleFitDevil. Ever heard of her? Welcome to the podcast, my friend. Cheers to you.
Thank you. Cheers. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure. This is actually my very first podcast, believe it or not. Yes, I have been invited to a few. My schedule never works. So thank you for having me. It is actually an honor.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy because I knew about you before, right? And just recently a lot of my viewers, like the hardcore ones that watch every week, watch all the videos, they were like, yo, you gotta have Little Fit Devil on. And I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah, I mean, because I didn't know anything about you, I have to admit I'm not judgy, but I was thinking like, oh, this is just a girl that is very pretty and is getting into the knife game through that avenue, which is fine. I have nothing against it, but I thought that maybe like you weren't that into the hobby, but I started watching your videos and I was like, yo, this girl is like one of us. You know what I mean? I was very confused.
Yeah.
So when the viewers asked me to get you on, I actually replied in an email. I was like, look, guys, I don't know if she's gonna want anything to do with me. She has a bigger subscriber base, way bigger on Instagram. And like you guys love my channel, but I'm just starting to make waves and I don't know if it would be beneficial to her. So I was very surprised that you were like, yo, let's do it. I was like, oh snap, she's so cool,
Yeah, I know this is fun for you, but it's as much fun for me. And honestly, the knife community really means a lot to me. They have been really good to me. And this new group that I'm part of, this Apex Pass Around, I feel like they're such amazing people. I know a lot of them already. And this gives me an opportunity to, if there are some judgments because, perhaps who is this girl, or can a girl like knives? Can she actually know enough? Hey, maybe I'm here to, you know, get people to know me. So thank you for the
Mhm.
opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think that's what I wanted to get to. So I basically caught up on a bunch of your content today. I watched your like you unbox some knives, and that's when I really knew that it was genuine. Also, the first live that you did, I watched that whole thing,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, because I was like, I always try to I come at this from like a content creator standpoint. You know what I mean? Like I've had people on here that do narration. I've had people on here that are just off the cuff like me. I've had some people that script a little bit, but then like, you know what I mean? So I'm like I'm a bullet point guy. I put bullet
Yeah,
points and make sure I cover that. So I was like wondering, I was like, is she scripted? But then like when you did
I wing it.
but when you
No,
did the unboxing, I was like, this is natural. I'm like,
totally.
yeah, this is exactly her. So I was very happy to see that. How did you get into the knife community? And how did you get into everyday carry and carrying knives and things of that nature?
Yeah, I think my journey with liking, the 2A community, as I call it, really started with the army. But that's
Mhm.
more, gun related. However, my love for knives started only, I want to say, like 3 to 4 years ago when I first got my EDC out of need. I was one of those people that never really carried a knife, which it's crazy for me to even say that now. But when I decided to buy my very first everyday carry gun, I also bought my first knife, which was a browse blade that I promptly lost. So that was just bad luck, honestly. But after that, when I bought a Microtech that was sort of a special edition, I spent a lot of money on it, and it's when I really started realizing, wow, I actually really have something here. There's something that brings me so much joy, and it's not only the carry aspect of it, but really everything about it. The functionality, the potential for self-defense, the community, the amount of amazing product out there. So I invested, in a Benchmade at that time, and the rest is history. I
Yeah.
started with 3 knives, and then now it's pretty insane what's happening in my household. I'm sure it happens to you too.
Yeah, what's crazy is this channel has survived primarily on the Apex Pass Around group, viewer donations, and basically like loners that get sent
Right.
in here. you know, like I am in a new business. My family owns a CBD shop. We're not like caking in the money yet. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
It's like new. We're in like our second year. Things are going well. But of course, when you're in a family business, you take a little bit less of the salary. You work
Definitely.
6 days a week. So actually, that, you know, I have a bunch of knives on my desk because people have sent so much stuff in. And yeah, you're right. The knife community has definitely been the most accepting one I've ever been in. I know you talked about being into EDM and, you know, going to EDC. I was a DJ for 10 years. I produced
That's so
music.
cool.
I spun at EDC, the New York one, not the Vegas one, because I didn't get into that one, but I spun at the EDC in New York. I've been going to EDC since it was in California. And
That's so cool.
I was embedded into that scene. Like I was gigging like every night, basically. Like I had a residency, all this stuff, but I got out of that and I wanted to find a creative endeavor, I guess. And I was kind of lost for a while. And then I
Yeah.
found YouTube. And
Oh,
my
wow.
avenue in was like the knife community. I was like, let me just be silly. None of these guys are doing like sketchy,
Right.
like sketches and stuff like that. And also like no Asians, no one from New York City. So it was a perfect time for me to hop in there. And man, the community has been absolutely amazing. How long have you had your channel up?
It's been short of 3 months, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was never a heavy YouTube user up until I started my channel.
Hmm.
Most of my residence in social media was on Instagram. And that's
Hmm.
sort of, what started me into getting networking with the knife community, and getting more knives. Like you said, the knife community is great. I do get a lot of product from great companies. I do a little bit of modeling for them as well. And
Hmm.
it has worked very well, especially because I like them so much, and people can actually see it. But YouTube is a new thing. It honestly started because out of my Instagram, people were saying, you really need to start reviewing because we want to really know more about the knife than,
Hmm.
what you would say on a caption or by pictures, right? I ended up having so many DMs of people asking me about these knives that I was taking pictures with. So I decided that it was the right time. I had a good follower base that I felt really translated into my YouTube super quickly.
Hmm.
And I love it. I had two options, either to stream Magic the Gathering or to create an knife channel. And
Dude,
that's what I did.
you know what's crazy is you would kill it on Twitch like doing magic too. That's another insane thing that kind of like I felt connected with you because I was looking through your stories. You know, I'm watching tape on my guests, of course. You know,
Of
like I
course,
go
yeah.
through the stories, go through the YouTube, and then I saw like I was like, wait, is she playing Magic? Or because most of the time it'd be like Hearthstone, which is like the new card game
Right.
from Blizzard, right? And then
Yep.
I'm like, she's playing MTG. That's crazy.
I know. I know. I get that a lot.
Yeah,
And I'm not just like, like, okay, she plays every now and then. I have a problem. you know,
I
just like
did
I have a
too.
problem
I
with
did
knives,
too.
I feel I have a problem with MTG. Like, very close. And some people have said, maybe you should have both in your channel. I don't
Mhm.
know if I'm ready to do that yet, but perhaps I'll open, a different channel for gaming. I just
Mhm.
didn't want to muddy, what I have created. But, I would love to. I think I just don't have enough time in the day to, have a real job and social media management and a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Although, it would be so much fun.
I gotta tell you right now, I am fortunate, even though I don't make as much money as I used to in like let's say a cushy office job. Um, but being at the shop, I get to edit videos, I get to create like reels, I get to, on Instagram, I get to do
Right,
all
right.
this stuff. And I shoot all my video in the morning before I go to work. We're gonna get to all that because I know that you're a fitness person and you got into fitness like did you say 3 years ago
3 years
or
ago.
yeah, and that's awesome. I'm kind of like going into my second year in of like working out like 6 days a week and
Right.
eating as healthy as I can. Like I like food a little too much. I am an ectomorph, so it's kind of cheating,
I
but
get you so much. I get you.
yeah.
Believe me, I get you.
So it's like But yeah, I don't know how did I get into this conversation actually? Like, what was I talking about? So I've got ADHD, so my mind is always going like this. All my guests know that. We were talking about your Twitch. Oh, the working and doing
Yeah.
content management, because I post on everything, like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter and TikTok. I do
Wow.
Instagram reels and stories every day.
Good for
Uh,
you.
this is, I mean, I'm fortunate that I get to do that because of my job, right? And before this podcast, I did a podcast run of like 2 weeks where I did one podcast a day every day. My
Oh,
girl was
wow.
so pissed, yo. She was like, "Hey, you're taking a break after this, right?" So this is
Oh, yeah.
actually off my schedule, but I had to make room. But yeah, let's go back to the Magic the Gathering thing. Like, how did you get into
Yeah.
that? Because it takes a certain kind of person to play
It
Magic
does.
the Gathering. Like, it takes a certain kind of person.
Yeah, I dabbed into Magic the Gathering when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling myself, wow, this is like full on nerd game here. I'm out. And this was when I was like in my 20s, right?
Yeah.
And then, 10 years later, it came back to me, sort of by accident. I was, I don't know what I was listening to, and the new release was coming. It was for Guilds of Ravnica, actually.
Okay.
And
Past my
I
time
got,
already.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got so back into that, to the point that, from that moment on, my card collection just exploded because, I realized, wow, I actually really like this. I need more cards. I need to build a better deck. Oh, I want to try this other, combination. Wow. So I ended up with a crazy card collection, and then I actually met my fiance now, and it was funny. One of our first conversations on text message was me sending him a screenshot of my waiting queue time for World of Warcraft when they had released Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe it. He was like, "You play World of Warcraft? What?"
Yeah.
So it was like, an angel sent to him, because he is also crazy with World of Warcraft and an amazing player. And then the second screenshot was a picture of my Magic the Gathering cards. And I said, nerd levels kind of deal. And he promptly responded with an even more amazing screenshot of his collection. And then there we knew, we were kind of meant for each other.
That's amazing.
So when that happened, I had to kind of keep on getting into the game. And then when Corona happened, I really dove into Arena, and that's pretty much now 100% of my gaming time, where it's going to, getting to Mythic. I've been playing Arena, I want to say, for like 6 or 7 months. I got to Mythic 4 out of the 7. It's amazing how much I play.
Wow.
I don't know if I'm good, I just play too much.
Well, that's how you get good.
Yeah.
That's how you get good. You get a lot of the situations and you're like, oh, I could use this. What kind of deck are you using?
Right now I'm using a Golgari Death Touch after, the new release of Kaldheim.
Okay. What colors are they?
Golgari is black and green.
Okay.
And they came up with a new card that has something called poison counters. So it really works
That's
very
you.
well.
What is it?
Yeah. So if you have a Death Touch creature and you deal damage straight to the player, it gives the opponent 2 poison counters. When they get to 10, they're done.
Damn.
So it's an amazing dynamic. And
Nice.
I used to play with mono black prior to this new release, and it wasn't doing very good. I was kind of frustrated, so I went into mono red. I'm kind of a mono person, with the exception of this time around. Although I have honestly played everything. I played Azorius before. I played Orsov. Azorius is white and blue, and then Orsov is white and black. But I never played 3 colors. I think that's just
too crazy for me.
It's just too crazy. It doesn't. It's not fun anymore.
A ton of dual lands and stuff like that. So what's crazy is like one of the greatest moments of like my preteen. Not preteens. I was already a teenager. I want to say like 12, 13, something like that. Magic was, I want to say it was past revised edition already, but I think Chronicles was like just out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I went to a tournament. It was my brother, my oldest brother, my third oldest brother, and then me. I'm the youngest. And I was using a red and blue deck. Very simple counter. with direct damage. At the time, you know, there wasn't a lot of this new stuff yet.
Right.
And you know, the main combos were drain power, you drain their mana, they get tapped out, you do a fireball, or I have a card called Ball Lightning. You tap 3 mountains, you tap 3 red. It's a 6/1 trample, but it dies at the
Yeah.
end of the turn. Dies at the end of the turn though. But I have
Oh,
unsummons, so after I attack, I'll unsummon it back to my hand and I'll use it
that's pretty
again.
good.
And I have 4 of them. So like I basically, like, they think this 12, 13-year-old kid doesn't know anything, and I get to the last thing, and we were 1-1. This older
Right.
guy, he must have been in his 30s, and me. I won 1, he won 1, and like the finishing move was a drain power fireball for 18 damage, and it's like one of
Oh,
the best
damn.
feelings I've had. And I basically played Magic on and off. I've tried Arena. It's definitely still fun. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, Arena is so
Yeah.
much fun. And, you know, as much as I love the game, you know, you start like thinking, why are people, you know, building these decks that take, I have fallen asleep, okay, playing against these decks that are control decks, you know, and all they do is extend the game. And, you know, they're almost dead the entire game until, you know, now they have all the mana they need, and now they can attack you. And we've been in the game for 20 minutes on full health, and then suddenly I start dying very slowly, but I die. I have fallen asleep many times playing those kinds of games.
My brother loves playing like that, man. It's so cheesy, man.
I like aggro, I like fast decks, you know, and maybe that's why my mono black didn't work in the past, but I think with the new dynamics, I'm more excited to play it this time around. So
yeah, the new cards are definitely awesome, man. I played Arena. I want to say, like, it's got to be when Corona first started. My friends were like, "Yo, you should get it." I bought a new tablet, and I was like, "Let me try it," and it was like so much fun. And I thought my girl could play it too, because my girl's not a big gamer, but like any game I get into, like she has aced and like played with me. We like playing together. Like we played Borderlands 3 on the PS4. She played Diablo 3 with me, which was
Diablo's so fun.
Dude, I couldn't believe that she got into it. She was like, "Yo, I gotta level up my wizard. Come on." I was like, "What the?" You know what I mean? That's the kind of love that you want as a nerd, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, you know, I was like, "Oh, let's see." You know, I always tell her like, this is it. This is the test. You know, if you could play this game, we're gonna get married. You know what I mean? She proposed to me, by the way. It's just like crazy.
Hey, that takes some personality.
That's modern day love, man. But like I thought that you would be able to play it on iOS, and you can't. You can't play it.
And you know what? It's coming up though. It's coming up.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
It's in an Android beta version. It's not very good, so wait it out, because I have gotten frustrated already.
I have a Windows tablet, so I was playing it on that, and my girl has an iPad, and she's all iOS. Like, I'm so weird that we're together. I'm an Android person, she's completely iOS. But yeah, that's the only reason why we haven't got into it. Do you have any knives on you, by the way? Let's try to keep some.
I have a couple here on my desk.
What are you? What have you been carrying a lot lately?
Well, you know, my paramilitary too is one of my most recent acquisitions, and I do enjoy this one a lot. It's really interesting because it seems like it's a little too big for me, but there's something, you know, about I do have the Digicam, which I really like. I'm a fan of black blades. I don't know if you are as well, but for me, a blackout blade is, you know, up here. And I think it's because I understand what they do, right? A blackout blade for me has a different, you need a different kind of knowledge to understand why it's cool. And I think a lot of people miss this on it. And, you know, when you have like a regular blade, let's see if we can actually see. Now, if you were in a tactical situation, you will be able to see a reflection or kind of glare. And maybe this is like my military background.
Probably.
You know, but the fact that this doesn't do that, that's enough for me to get it. Not to mention it looks insane. So that's why I do love blackout blades. And in a whole black knife, I think it's better. My collection is definitely scattered between my house, my fiance's house, my car, my purse, my jackets. You know, I'm sure you feel.
Yeah, I know. I completely understand. Like, my table looks terrible right now because I'm doing this 2K giveaway, and but that's so funny to say, like, 2K giveaway. You're like at 27,000. I really appreciate you coming on because it definitely does me a favor. I've been in the game for like a while, like almost 4 years, and my channel didn't start. I didn't feel like I was making an impact or anything until recently, until I started this podcast last year. I knew that the knife community would want long form content because every other niche on YouTube has podcasting in it, except
Right.
the knife community does an audio form. I have friends like the Knife Junkie who also does a video podcast, and a lot of these smaller ones are popping up now. And I think that's amazing because it creates a network for us knife people to do cool shit. Like, let's say you collaborated with a knife company and you designed your first knife and you wanted to go on a podcast run
Right.
to announce it, right? Like, you could come
Yeah.
here, you could go to like Bearded Gear or Knife Junkie or something like that. And I've always wanted that for the knife community. But yeah, anyway, back to the knives. The reason why I like coated blades and stonewash blades better is actually from a content creation standpoint. Because like, when satin blades, like they reflect like a little too much. And that's why I like it more. In New York City, like I don't use my carry so much in a defensive or tactical position. Not that's like my last resort. Even though I pass by people like fighting invisible people on the subway every day. I never think of it that way because
Yeah.
I always think like, one, I'm a minority, I'm a green card holder. If I like get into an altercation with somebody and I had to use my knife, like it's gonna fall on me
Yeah,
completely.
definitely. I get it.
Yeah, so I definitely, as sad as it is, because I would love to EDC like a Hinderer 3.5 inch XM18, but I would have to settle more for like this guy right here, which I also love. This is the Hinderer XM18
That's
Spear
nice.
Point.
That's a
Both
good one.
both are
Yeah.
both are loners, by the way. They're not mine. I'm hashtag poor. but yeah, like I have to carry around this size usually.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing this video where it's like top 10 knives that will probably get you arrested in New York City. And it's gonna be like every kind of knife. Like I'm gonna take out like the Pena knife
All of
Zulu,
them.
and it's like under 3 inches. You could probably get arrested. Yeah, New York City is just that way. You have to like. I've asked police officers and on duty and retired. I've asked correctional facility people, just people that are like lawyers. Like, what's the deal? And
Yeah.
they all say different things. Like you never get a straight answer, but the most common one is carry in pocket. So I don't carry with the pocket clip, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I carry in pocket, right? And I try to keep it like 3 inch or below. And just don't go crazy. Like, don't do a backflip in front of the police and like say like, here I am. No, because they won't frisk you. That's the thing.
I have to tell you a story on that note.
Go ahead.
So I moved to Florida not too long ago,
Yeah.
and there's a bridge that you need to take to come to my house, and I always catch some speed on that bridge. And of course, as soon as you're supposed to get out of the bridge, the speed limit drops, immediately. So I'm getting out of the bridge. Of course, I'm speeding a little bit, and there's a cop behind me. He pulls me over, and here we go. Do you know why I pulled you over? Well, I probably caught some speed. It wasn't that bad. Anyway, we started talking. He asked for my information. I opened my glove compartment, and here we go. A Bastinelli ice pick was the first thing I pulled out of there. Yeah. Second was it was the Mako that was in there as well. And then I also carry my Microtech out the front in my glove compartment because it has a glass breaker. Yeah. 3 big old knives there, and then on me I had my Emerson Endura with the wave. And so I'm taking everything out of the glove compartment, and the guy's looking like, so what is that for? Is that a self-defense tool? Why do you have so many? So I started chatting him up, and I was like, whoo, and at the end he ended up asking me for a recommendation for carry. And I was like,
that's cool.
Oh my God, thank goodness, because I was sweating it. The ice pick was like, I thought that was gonna get me in trouble, but it did.
I mean, also pretty girl probably got a little bit of. If it was me, they'd be like, he has a green card, get him. You know what I mean?
I thought the accent was gonna totally screw me over, but okay, I was knowledgeable, I was polite, and I said I'm a collector. I also, and guess what? I also have a concealed carry permit. So
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, I have this too. So
I don't even know what I would have to do to. Well, first of all, I would have to probably become a citizen first. My girl is always like, "Yo, let's fucking do it." I'm like, "It's $800, man."
it is. Oh yeah.
I've lived here since 1987, and I have
Oh yeah.
had my green card since then.
Oh
So
wow.
it's like my mom is like, "Yo, I will pay for the fucking thing. Just study and
Yeah.
do it already." So, but yeah, I know that I have to do that. I think, but I don't know. In New York City is just tricky when it
It
comes to
is.
stuff like that. How did you? Let's talk about the fitness a little bit now.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? We both said that we were ectomorphs, so you understand my pain of like one harder to gain weight, probably good for a
Yeah.
lady, right?
Oh, gotcha.
Harder to build muscle for me, but also people are always like, yo, what the fuck? You're always so skinny or something like that. Yeah, how did you get into it? Like, what made you get into it?
For me, it was exactly that, right?
Mhm.
I had just had my kid, and most women probably will hate me after I say this, but I did not gain enough weight. So when I was, after the whole, thing, I left the hospital with my jeans on and
Damn.
rapidly even lost more weight after that. So I got really skinny and kind of weak, and I told myself, I just need to get in the gym and do something that will actually, make me happier. Because, being overweight is not fun, but being underweight is not fun either. And
Mhm.
it's pretty hard, actually, to, you could eat so much, but nothing really sticks.
Mhm. Or
So
it like stays in the wrong place sometimes. Like, yeah.
yeah, and that happens too. For me, nothing was sticking, right? I would eat
Mhm.
so much, but nothing was sort of like, it was all going away. So I finally said, I'm going to really do some research, and get a good plan. So I got a coach, an online coach at the time, and I created a routine that would focus on my goals, which was growing muscle and all that. And I told myself I'm going to open an Instagram to kind of network with people in the fitness industry, get some motivation, and maybe tell my story. So I did that, and that's kind of how this whole kind of social media craziness and support started. My account started mainly as a fitness account. It has
Mhm.
really weaned down a little bit because now I focus on, knives and gaming a little more too. But fitness is a huge part of my life. As you say, I work out 5 or 6 times a day. And I
Damn,
used to do a
a
lot of,
day? That's
oh,
crazy.
oh, did
Damn.
I say a day? Not a day. Of
Oh,
course not a
a
day.
day? Are you a UFC fighter? No, I'm kidding.
I meant to say a week. Oh my gosh.
Okay, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but it's been great for me, actually focusing on that. And you probably feel the same way. When
Mhm.
you can see the changes in your body and in your mental health, it really, really makes you make that a habit, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I lifted really heavy
Mhm.
for a while, like 2.5 years. And then when my body got used to that, now, because of the virus, I have really just made it work at home. And I'm
Mhm.
very happy with the results.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's kind of my journey into fitness. I think it's very important, not
Yeah.
only for looks, but also for mental health.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Like when I have buddies that are like, "Man, I'm feeling really down and stuff." I'm like, "Yo, just like go for a run, a walk or something. Like doing something like strenuous physically is gonna get rid of some of that." I always tell people like, that's how I hold the demons back in here. It's like I lift weights, I focus on a different part of the body every day. Like my girl is a personal trainer at Equinox.
Nice.
So I was just like, yo, we were watching UFC one day and I was like, I want to look like that, like the 145 people, you know what I mean? And she's, we're getting closer and stuff. And what sucks is my oldest brother is on American Ninja Warrior and he is like shredded, dude. He's 49 years old and just jacked. So I'm like, but
Who's your
also
brother? I have watched
uh
the show before.
the Smiling Ninja, he's been on the show 4 times. He's never won. But he is like actively doing ninja stuff every day. He had a great story, and they love to ask him to come on at least to try out. Like they show the tryouts.
Yep.
So anytime it's like around the East Coast, they always ask him to come. But yeah, like he was like the blueprint. So I was like, oh, you know, because I remember my brother being skinny like me. And you know, it's crazy when I work out. I always think when I'm like kind of failing already, I'm like, I hear the people that's always told me that I'm too skinny. And I just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
going because now I'm like, I'm 40 years old, right? I'm working out 6 days a week. And most people my age like aren't doing anything. So it's like,
Okay, I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel
so
like,
how about diet? Like, what are you
you
eating,
know,
man? Like,
diet is crazy, and it has been crazy for a long time.
mhm.
So, to tell you a funny story, so when I joined the army,
Yeah,
I was I was like not even 100 pounds, okay? And I
yeah.
remember the
But you're
recruiter
five
told
two,
me,
right?
I'm 5'2", yes. So
Yeah, yeah,
I was very, very lightweight. Like right now I'm actually like at a 117,
yeah.
because muscle and everything. So
Right.
I'm at a great weight. But back then I wasn't even 100 pounds, and my recruiter told me you need to gain at least 5 pounds to make it through the health test
Damn.
I was going to. So I would go into the office, every morning to do paperwork or training or whatever, right before I had to go into this health test, and they would feed me cupcakes. They would be like, here, cupcakes for you, donuts. It would be crazy, and I remember munching on peanut butter jelly sandwiches. And
Yeah.
I made the cut. I was exactly 104 the day
Oh
they
shit.
weighed me. And the army actually made me gain the weight the right way, I feel like, because I was eating a lot and I was working out a lot. So by the end of my boot camp and all that, with such amount of hard work and crazy amounts of calories, I ended up boot camp like at 120, which is probably the heaviest I've ever been in terms
Mhm.
of all that. Now I've been through cycles. I feel like I've been through a cycle of eating whatever I wanted because I can, and
Yes.
why not?
Yes.
But then, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm
Yeah.
33 years old. And to me, it seems like some of those choices start to reflect. And maybe I'm the only one seeing it, but
I
hey,
see it.
it bothers me. It
Yeah.
freaking bothers me. That dimple there, that thingy there, I don't like
Mhm.
it. So
Yeah.
I switcherooted a little bit, and I started eating a little more, a little healthier, higher
Mhm.
protein, but not a lot of processed food, not a lot of
Yeah.
like
Not a lot
lactose.
of the good stuff.
Yeah, nothing that's great, honestly.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that bad.
Mhm.
Not to mention, I'm in a new diet now. I call it the braces diet. Um, these are new. They've been
Yeah.
on my
Why
app
did
for
I
about
was
a
gonna
month
ask about that. I almost forgot. Like, why did you get them so late?
because my teeth are fudged up. In the bottom, specifically, I have severe crowding in the bottom, and
Mhm.
I have really a protrusion on one side. So if you
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
were to take a picture from the side, it looks like my teeth are actually way forward.
Okay.
So, everybody has a bad profile. I have
Mhm.
that one that's bad. So I
Hey
decided
man,
to
you're
get it.
doing something about it. That's cool. So the diet now, like the braces diet, like what is it?
Freaking, you can't eat anything at all. Eating is not fun anymore. You
Does
can't
it
buy a
hurt?
burger. It really sucks. I'm not gonna lie.
Does it hurt or it gets stuck in it?
You can't actually like bite into something because
What?
your teeth are so are moving constantly, so you feel a lot of pressure. So you feel like
Oh,
it feels really weird. It feels like as if the bite is not gonna go through. If you
oh
were to bite like
snap.
that. Not to mention, anything that you eat really sucks and requires a lot of
Mhm.
cleaning.
Yeah.
But a burger is a no-no. You can't eat it like
Oh
I like
my
Pita
God.
chips. You can't eat that. You can't eat like a big, anything that requires biting straight through.
Hmm.
Pretty much forget about it or cut it into small pieces. So everything now becomes a chore.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but
Wow.
I've been working, through, soups and pasta and lentils and
Lentil.
you know,
Oh shit.
I have to do what I have to do.
That's
So on
crazy.
top of the problem of not gaining weight, now we have the braces. So
Yeah.
it's tough.
It's definitely tough. It's like, so you're 33 right now. Like, wait till you hit 40, man. Those it really shows like in the tummy. Like everywhere else, I'm good. I can eat whatever I want. But I don't know. I'm starting to look like my uncles. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I gotta like kind of watch out. Like I can't carb load like I used to before. High protein, some greens, and I gotta measure everything out. Like my girl is like, use the food
Oh
weight.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, so I gotta do all that. and she just basically, and what another thing is, like, eating healthy is kind of like expensive, man. Like, to plan it out, like the
Oh, yeah.
avocados go bad so fast. You're like, is this good? Is this bad? Like,
There's nothing healthy available quickly like McDonald's. There's
yeah,
nothing that you're
no,
like, oh, I need a healthy snack. I'm gonna go grab it somewhere.
yeah,
It's not that
yeah.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
It's
with you.
it's tough. So I pack lunch all the time. I cook like pretty much like in the morning. So that's basically the routine. I wake up I'm a slow starter. Early riser, slow starter. Like, I wake up at 6. I don't have to go to work till 11. It's like insane. So like at 6 to 7, I'm kind of like drinking coffee and listening to podcasts. Then I work out, right? And then I gotta pack the lunch and do all this stuff. It's a whole thing. And then I shoot the content for the YouTube channel. How often do you post, by the way? I wanted to ask that.
I started once a week, and then suddenly it turned into twice a week. And
Yeah.
then I think that overall, I want to say on average now I'm at about 3 times a week because I
Yeah.
want it to be consistent. I know people are waiting for content. I just wish I had more time, but it's not my full-time job, and it's very new. So I want to say 3 times a week is what I'm averaging right now.
What do you do
For
mostly? Just
real work?
modeling? Yeah, like modeling, or like, what is it?
No, believe it or not, I'm actually a data analyst for a big technology company.
Oh yeah, I
So
think you said that in one of the videos. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I've been with them for 6 years, and I have, switched roles quite a bit. But yeah, I just analyze data and I develop platforms that make the data a little bit more easy to consume to leadership. So
Yeah, that's cool. Hey man, everyone's got to have a thing. Like, I was a logistics manager in a diamond company before. I did
yeah,
the CBD thing. The CBD thing is definitely cooler, man. Like, do you like use CBD at all? Like, is that like something that
I don't.
you
I've heard of
don't?
it. I've heard great
Yeah,
things.
great for fitness, actually. My
Yeah,
brother, the American Ninja Warrior guy, is the one that kind of like pushed us to it. And also, my brother is a cancer survivor, so he basically used cannabis to get over the chemo, CBD,
right.
marijuana, all that stuff. He's alive today. Don't be sad. He's playing basketball in the summer. It's all good. But yeah, like, it's a really cool thing for bringing down inflammation and stuff like that. That's
Yeah,
all my brother uses. That guy is like the most straight edge guy I know. Doesn't drink, doesn't do anything, but like CBD for recovery. That's like all he uses. It's
nice.
good. Even the cream, you should try it. It's cool.
Yeah, I should. I honestly know nothing about it, so
Yeah,
maybe I
it's
should.
not weed. A lot of people think it gets you high. It doesn't at all. Like, not at all. But it's really good for just like if you had a hard workout, or maybe you're just kind of like sore in some places, like at least like the topical cream stuff is
Right,
way better than anything that you're gonna get at Dwayne Reed or Rite Aid or Walgreens. It's just like
right.
stronger. It works faster. You could really like feel it deep in the tissue, which is awesome for people that work
Nice.
out. I was gonna ask about this. With your Instagram, right? Like, when you had it for 3 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be 3 years in a couple of weeks.
When did you see it start to take off? Like, was that right away, or did something happen where you're like, oh, I think this is bigger than I think it is?
It's a good question. I feel like I never thought it would be this big, first of all. I used to joke with my friend that, I said something like, if I make it to 10K, I made it. I didn't even know what that meant, back in the day, 10,000 followers, I didn't know. But what actually got me started, so at the very beginning of Instagram, I want to say about my 2,000, 3,000 follower account, I competed in this online thing called Miss Health and Fitness
Mm-hmm.
competition. And that actually gained me a lot of followers because I was, advertised in this health magazine that was popular at the day. And that was like the first big influx of followers. But then, that wasn't that much. I want to say that I got to 10K definitely prior to the first year mark, because I think I reached
That's
probably
fast.
30K. I reached 30K on my first year. I remember
That's
that.
fast, dude. That's fast,
Yeah.
man.
But let me tell you, just like the knife community, there's a huge military community, and there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of shout out pages for military members. And I think that has helped me a lot as well, getting featured in military pages, kind of like the she can do both sort of movement,
Yes, correct.
having been in the military and now doing this or that. I think telling my story, I have told my story. I used to do live feeds a lot at the very beginning of my account, and I have told my story many times, um, And a lot of people really connected that way. I think that helped me grow as well. The shout outs helped me grow as well a lot. And then when I started getting into the knife industry, my videos got reposted a lot. So I think that the very first thing that I got known for in the knife community was sort of this creative conceal carry ideas for knives for women.
That is a brilliant freaking idea, by the way.
Right?
Something like that. That's
so
so cool.
I started doing them, and I used to own a lot of pastinellis initially. Now I own them still, but I own a lot of different brands. But I have a lot of pastinellis, and that company actually liked my video so much that he would repost me on his page, on a knife company page, right? As a woman, doing, a drill, maybe like, deploying from my neck, a neck knife, and walking away, sort of like how I really carry.
Yeah.
And that took off, I started doing them weekly, and then I got featured on 9gag, which is
yeah, huge.
Yeah, they have like 60 million followers or something.
Huge.
And that I think made me like kind of hit that 75,000 follower mark at around there. And then honestly, it's a love-hate relationship with Instagram. I would get, an influx of 5,000 followers, on a month, and then like it gets stuck for another one.
Yeah.
So, I've been at the 90 something mark for, the last couple of months. So I'm going to reach my 3-year anniversary, probably shy of 100,000, which, I think it's a good journey. And
that's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Something that gave me a lot of joy. A lot of people hate social media, people hate a lot.
I love it. I always say this. I think that if you're not, I want to word this correctly, because what drink is that, by the way?
This is a bubbly. It's just a sparkling seltzer watermelon.
Oh, cool. I was wondering if we sell that at my shop. It looks like something I sell, or some samples were sent to me. I think I've tried it before.
It's delicious. I love seltzers.
Seltzers are amazing. Yeah, it's almost guilt-free. It is guilt-free, kind of, right?
It is, and it tastes really good.
So. Yeah. But shit, what was I saying before? I got stuck on the drink, the ADHD.
The social media that I said a lot of people hate it, but I don't.
Yeah, so I treat it like, I'm investing in myself. That's what I do with social media. I like to talk. I'm a pretty outgoing person digitally. I'm kind of an introvert, like in real life. I know people, but I don't hang out with anyone except Kelly. It's like,
hey, I'm the same way. I agree with you.
But like when it comes to like being on camera or being on a podcast or like doing a video, like it just comes very naturally to me. But I'm kind of like on the fence of like if a regular person needs social media or not, like unless they're like trying to keep up with their family, right? But when it comes to like, because I'm on Twitter too, and it's like it's just a dumpster fire of like crap in there sometimes. Sometimes there's positive things, but most of the time it's like I hate this guy and I hate that. I'm like, oh my god, Instagram is a little bit more creative. That's why I like to play in there the most. Oh, you're on TikTok, right?
I am. I don't use it though. I mean, I used it maybe one time or a few, like for a whole month, and I couldn't even believe the growth on that account. Like immediately for the most part.
Yeah.
And it got me scared. I'm like, what is this? No, I already have 40,000 followers here now. So I stopped it.
Wait, why though? Because you were scared of it, or
people were saying that they were stealing information or whatever. So I kind of said, first of all, I don't have time. And second, whatever, I'm just gonna leave the account for now and focus on Instagram. That's kind of what I said to myself. And then what kind of like hit the last kind of cherry on top with TikTok was they would take down my knife videos.
Yes. Okay. It's definitely that. And also like people make you think the Chinese have your brain when you're on TikTok. But the thing is, like, I have a buddy of mine that I've talked about on here quite a bit who is a success story from TikTok, and he's an EDC guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's over 300,000 on TikTok, around like 7K on YouTube, 6,000 on Instagram, less than a year in to doing knife content, which is crazy. But most of his followers came from TikTok. And the reason why I'm on there, and I'm a little bit more hip, you know what I mean? When I'm on there, it's so funny. Like, I'll be like, check out the carbon fiber scales, my guy. Like, I'll try to sound like a kid. But the thing is, it's like it's reaching another audience, and I'm getting like my creativity to a new audience, which is like why I play on all the platforms, you know. Like no one
Yeah.
cares about knives on Twitter really. But I do think that it's an emerging platform that is gonna play a major role. And it's just so massive, man. Like people are getting huge
It's so
followings.
massive.
And at first it was really cringy, I think, when I first checked it out. But now it's like I'm seeing all these creative people in the knife community, like blacksmiths, like doing blacksmithing, that are like
Yeah.
getting towards a 1 million follower mark and just doing TikTok. Like, because what's funny about TikTok is I check out their other pages, and it's like their TikTok is the most massive one, and they're
Yeah.
posting like 3 or 4 times a day. But 15-second clips, so it's not like gonna take that much work. I
It
only
doesn't.
post once a day on there, and I don't. Here's what sucks: I don't even open the knife on camera. Like what I do is I talk
You just
about
go
it.
like,
Yeah, like when I talk about the steel, I just get like only part of it.
oh, that's funny.
No, it's so bad. It's like living in New York City. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't show it at all. But at the end, I show a picture of it, which
Yeah.
seems to be fine. But yeah, it's just another avenue to play in, especially like since you're creating content. Is there anything that you're kind of like planning to do on your channel that like you haven't done yet? Like any other cool new things that you want to try? Any cool ideas?
You know, again, I'm really new to the game, so I'm still learning a lot. You may have seen from my videos, right? And I always watch a lot of knife reviewers, and I'm a little bit different because I show my face when I
Wait, who
review.
do you watch?
I watch a lot of you guys. I mean, you know, Nick Shabazz is my favorite, probably everybody's favorite too.
Ah,
I
that's why
love,
you know what's crazy? When I messaged you and I wrote like, yeah, I've had cool people on like Nick Shabazz. I'm in a group chat with like I call them the Knife YouTube elites. And like Nick is one of them. And I was like, I just dropped Nick's name mad hard when I try to get guests on my show. And I posted a little like clip of it. I was like, look, she might do my show. And then they're all laughing, like Metal Complex is in there, Slicey Dicey, Epic Snuggle Bunny, all the
I like Slicey Dicey a lot,
yeah.
actually,
Slicey
too. I watch.
Dicey is amazing. Love that dude.
He really is. He really
Yeah.
is. I do watch him a lot. And
Mhm.
then, you know, from the group, I love Shoe Monster Tech. You know, I just collaborated with him in a
Yeah.
video. He's really awesome too.
Yep. You watched
Yeah,
the little
and
clip of me talking about the Blade movie, right?
yeah,
Like,
I did.
yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
That's pretty much where it goes, like this podcast. You know, I just try to be funny about it. I want to show people that us like knife content creator people are just like them.
Yeah,
It's interesting having you on here because I've never had someone so multifaceted that's like game.
nice.
You know, you do modeling, you're a fitness person, you're into knives, you're like, you know, doing content creation. You're an influencer of sorts, right? Because, you know, is it weird to like think that way? That is the
You
word.
know, it's weird. It's a weird name. You know, there's so many maybe not so likable connotations of that
Yeah.
word. But you
Right.
know, there is some social responsibility that comes with a big following, and
Yeah.
I understand that now. You know, I used to, you know, maybe say, oh, I'm not that or whatever, but the truth is, you know, I can't just go in my channel or in my Instagram and just be a total, you know, D head. You know, I know there's people watching and a lot of them. So
Yeah.
I have to portray myself in a way that I think it's going to make a good impact. And I think that's also why I wanted to start the YouTube channel, to
Hmm.
kind of, you know, if there was a potential doubt about, you know, who is this chick, you know, she's into fitness or whatever, but does she have a brain? Well, believe me, I have 3 degrees, first of all, but second, you know, I also am passionate about everything I do. So I like to be the best at everything I do. I'm ambitious, you know, and
Yeah.
there's sort of a fire in my soul, and I can't, you know, just put it down, you know, and I put all my effort into what I do. So when, you know, you asked me about what is coming up for my channel. So I wanted to start my channel because I wanted to start creating content. And, you know, I have watched videos that say, there is no right time to start your YouTube channel. There is no, I'm ready for this, you know,
Yeah.
so let's start creating. So that's kind of what I did. So I kind of jumped, you know, in this awesome universe of, you know, knife reviews where I don't really have a setup, you know, I don't have the cool little thing where, you know, I just got, you know, a measuring device, you know, because people
Yeah.
were asking me for things and whatever. So I am going with what my audience is asking me for. Reviews are obviously wanted for my current subscribers. For new subscribers, I feel like they like the sort of the creative conceal ideas, especially women.
Yep.
And
that's definitely an avenue that no one else has touched except you.
I
But
agree.
To interject a little bit here, it's like I think people just go to your channel to watch you. You know what I mean? As a personality. Because like for me, for example, I screw up reviews all the time. I just released a review today and I called this the Pena X series Trapper. And this is not the Trapper. This is the Zulu. But it's Nick Shabazz's fault because he told me it was the Trapper. So the whole time I've been making content about this for like 2 weeks, been calling it the Trapper, but people like who watch my channel expect that. It's all right. I think Carla has frozen here a little bit, so we're just gonna talk about the Trapper. But yeah, I really thought that this was the Trapper, but it's the Zulu, and yeah, finally today somebody on the review basically told me this was the Zulu, and now I know what it is.
You're there.
Yes, I am. It does that sometimes. We're gonna get reconnected right now. So yeah, I thought this was the Trapper. It's the Zulu. Someone corrected me in the comments. I changed the title. I changed the title, and then I put a disclaimer in the description. I did not know this was the Zulu. Please, forgive the confusion and things like that. But people kind of just expect that, like, yes, I get to check out so many more knives than the average person, but I kind of like go into the hobby as like a filthy casual like knife collector, because I've said this so many times. The steel, the steel doesn't matter as much to me. What matters most is like the action, the way it looks, the way it feels.
I agree so much with you. I agree.
That's what I'm doing with it. Like I'm not doing. I always say this. I'm not out there like whittling sticks and I'm not fighting people because I'm in a CBD shop. I'm not a construction worker. I'm not
an urban carry person.
Yeah. So I literally, this is what I'm doing with my knife. That's it. Just this. Yeah. Every day. That's it. I'm addicted to this. This is what I'm addicted to, just doing this. And, I come at it with that kind of viewpoint. And I think people just know, like, okay, we're going to come to this channel to have a little bit of fun, see what kind of cinematic things he does, what kind of joke he makes. And that's it. And, they'll go to watch Slicey or Nick for like the real review. You know what I mean? Because they get the name right, let's talk about like gaming a little bit. What other games do you play? I know you said you played Tetris in one of your videos. You play Arena, Magic the Gathering Arena. You played WoW. You can call it WoW, by the way. I'm a real nerd. So yeah, I know what WoW is. You're like World of Warcraft. No one calls it that anymore. Like, yeah, is there anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you the Hearthstone.
Yeah, oh, Hearthstone. Oh shit, dude, that's awesome. Is there anything else?
It came in a loot crate.
Oh, cool! Wow,
you even have with them in the past, yeah, and that got in one of them, and I was like, how lucky am I to get, probably the only Blizzard, item in there. Amazing.
You ever played League of Legends?
I heard of it. I have not played it though.
I have the craziest League of Legends story. I don't know if it's the craziest, but like I was like kind of a casual player. A friend of mine who used to live in New York City moved to California to get into like the video game industry, which like we all told him like, dude, that's a mistake, because he had a cushy job. He was a headhunter. Like he basically approved like who gets hired for the job. And nice. Had a cushy job, had the Beamer, like the American dream, right? Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. But he ended up like cultivating this massive career, and he's like super rich now, doing like marketing for video games. And he worked at a company called Riot Games, which created League of Legends. And at the time, they were like in a hole in the wall office, and he saw that rise. So when I was DJing, he offered me a gig, and he said, hey, do you want to spin for our after party at PAX East Boston, which is a gaming convention, a huge one. And like, I said, okay, cool. And then one of the days he was like, do you want to go to the League booth, right, and see what's going on? And he had me play in front of like hundreds of people. I was so nervous. Like, I was like, what the hell? Yeah, my team won though, so it was awesome. What other games do you play, by the way? You said you play Diablo 3, like.
I played Diablo 3 with my guy. We actually, have Game Pass, and
Yeah.
there's so much in there. And honestly, I have dabbed probably into like 15 different games, without success because I'm so into Magic the Gathering Arena. But seriously, my guy, he played Assassin's Creed and he
Yeah.
beat the game, right?
The
And
new one,
I
the
watched,
Valhalla,
yeah,
right?
Valhalla. Yep.
Yeah.
And I watched him, as if it was a freaking movie I was watching.
It looks like a
And
movie.
it's so insane. I mean,
Mhm.
to the point, that I'm not into the historic kind of looking games, but
Mhm.
that kind of caught my attention, and I was there watching him, hoping that maybe I would like it if it were set in a different
Yeah.
scenery, a more fantastic land, like
Yeah, yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
But I'm still waiting for that game. I'm still waiting for that questing game with a cool feature of like fighting, but that is mainly questing and puzzles. I love
Yeah.
puzzles, so
Yeah.
I actually, this is humongously nerdy, but I have a Nintendo 3DS,
Yes.
and
So did I.
yeah, one of my most favorite games there is Puzzles on Dragons, the Super Mario Edition, which
Oh,
is
shit.
really, really just creating this team that it will allow you to like fight bosses at different stages and beating like all worlds. And I'm about to beat it. So I game in different consoles. So it depends on the console. I do Magic on my PC, and then I have the 3DS. We also have a Switch, of course. And we have played some Mario games there. I played Mario Party with my son a lot.
Oh, that's great. That's good parenting right there. Man, my mom didn't want me to play video games at all. I remember I would stay up late and I would like play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the Nintendo, and she'd wake up. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, you know what I mean? Filipino mom with the chinelas, like yeah,
Hey,
so
I like them as much as my son does. And we also have like the old fashioned consoles,
yeah.
like the NES
Yeah.
and
Wow, really? That's awesome.
yeah, well, I don't know if I have them here. Well, so we bought the smaller version of every console. So we have the
Oh
smaller
yeah.
Nintendo, we have the smaller Super Nintendo.
Oh my.
And wait,
That's
hold
blowing
on.
my mind right
But
now.
wait, I'm not done.
That's crazy.
There is the mini Sega Genesis too.
Yo! Oh, I remember playing
So
Altered Beast on the Sega Genesis, and I was like, "This is
that
great."
was like the game. The Sonic was my very first like love
Yeah,
into
I loved Sonic.
thing.
I mean,
So
that was a different era back then. I think when
I
I
agree.
was playing, I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Do you watch any like shows or anything like that?
I don't watch a lot of TV, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I used to, but lately I haven't, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I am so busy.
maybe you're
But
playing Magic.
I know. I don't even remember what the last show I watched was, honestly.
How about like movies? Like no movies, no TV.
The Matrix is my favorite movie in the
Yeah.
entire universe.
What's the
Um,
last movie that you watched that's kind of new?
the Joker.
Ah, did you like it?
That's all.
Did you like it?
I did. It's
Yeah, I
funny
loved
because
it.
it's probably like as gruesome of a movie as I would prefer to take.
Real
I prefer lighter comedies.
Ah,
But I'm a Batman fan. I don't know. Can you see my Funko collection here?
yeah, I can see it. I have some up here too. I have more like back at my family's house.
Yeah.
I have like all this Monster Hunter stuff. Monster Hunter is like my favorite game of all time. But like I have a lot of Funko stuff too. I love
Yeah.
horror. So horror definitely not for you.
Oh,
Horror.
wait a minute. You might like this classic, right? It's like I'm
Yeah.
in my desk, so it's like prices. We have Universal Classic Monsters
Oh,
right here. Here's
cool.
like classic. Not mine. This is my
Yeah, no horror then, right? Not a horror watcher.
Well, I'm not, but I am a fan of Batman. So I was saying, I
Yeah.
have a million Batman.
Yeah. Is he your favorite
Funkos.
like superhero?
Definitely. Yeah.
So are you into the superhero movies?
Oh yeah, I own my half of my closet is like superhero inspired clothes.
Yeah.
Half of the closet is like metal clothes.
Yeah. Right.
So it depends. I work out a lot with high socks with superhero logos. I have like the Batman cape socks. So I'm a huge nerd. Also the way I dress.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm wearing a One Punch Man like shirt right now. Do you watch?
I have one of those. I love that.
Yeah, this is great. So you watch anime or no?
I used to love Attack on Titan.
Ah, are you watching it currently?
No.
No. Okay. So it is gonna finish this season,
Oh
but
wow. Okay.
I've heard it was amazing. My girl has never watched anime. And like I've been watching anime since I was in the Philippines, because in the Philippines all the cartoons were Japanese. They were like the
Right.
giant robot era, you know, when people are combining into giant robots. That's what the cartoons were on there. So I had to introduce Kelly slowly. And she's watched all of she's watched all of Naruto. She's watched like
Oh, nice.
I like really like complete nerd,
You're your
exactly like
friend.
you. Yeah, so Attack on Titan is probably one of the things that I'm gonna bring once we finish what we're watching now. But it's cool. So
I need to go back into that because I used to
yeah.
love that show. I
Yeah,
used to
it's
binge on it.
yeah, the fourth season, which is the last one, is like really crazy. I only watched 3 episodes of it, and like I saved it because in case Kelly might want to watch it, but it's absolutely insane. Before I get you out of here, like anything that you want to say to the guests, it's been a pleasure having you on. You're a really awesome, really good guest. I'm glad that I was able to provide even a small platform for people to get to know you. So this is like the first long form thing that you've done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Hopefully I'll speaking of Batman, I was actually going to be in this Batman podcast soon.
Yeah.
So that might be coming up. But honestly, it's really hard for me to find the time that would work. So at night worked so great for me, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait, people don't film at night? I only film at night.
I don't feel like it. I feel like it has been, at 3 p.m. your time. And I'm
3
like,
p.m. What are we
I
doing
mean,
here?
I mean, what kind of world is this?
We have real jobs.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
you
And
know what's crazy? You're on the East Coast too. I didn't realize that.
yeah. Well, that's always a problem. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
problem in my current job. So imagine, I'm waking up so early, which I don't really like, just to get on a call, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But honestly, thank you for having me. This has been actually more fun than I expected it to be.
Awesome.
It feels like, I feel like the knife community people are just a really cool kind of people,
Mhm.
and when you mix knife community people with like gaming people and they share
Oh,
that,
it's awesome.
it's even better.
It's
Um,
awesome.
and I
Well, there's
and I think a
anime
lot of
people
people,
here too. So believe
yeah,
it or not. Yeah, I did a live and we asked what anime I should watch with Kelly next, and like just flooded
you
with
really,
real suggestions. Like most people that think, say they watch anime, they watch like the 80s, 90s stuff like Akira, Ghost in the Shell. But people were like, oh, watch My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, like, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, these people are current. That means they're watching it right now.
yeah, yeah.
So pretty
I
awesome.
really need to get back on Attack on Titan. Now you got me thinking that maybe I should do it. I
You're
think I
gonna
watched.
What's the last season that you watched?
I finished season 2, but only because there was no season 3 when I finished it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to
3
get back.
is really good. And then 4 is just they're closing everything off. It's so insane. I can't even tell you anything about it. It's like crazy.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Well, I mean, again, when I like something, I kind of go full in. I have like my Attack on Titan socks. I have a necklace. I used to have a jacket. I
Wow,
went
like
full in.
you're doing the thing. That's awesome. Yeah, that's the thing they do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, but so where can people find you? I mean, LittleFitDevil on Instagram and YouTube, of course, right? Any
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
place that you want to promote?
Hey, I of course have a Twitter too. I don't really do much there, but everywhere is really LittleFitDevil. I'm on Twitch as well. I have not posted content, but maybe soon. Um, the only one that's different is TikTok is LittleFitDevil official. But again, because of if they're gonna remove my videos, why would I even post it there? There's no hiding. What I'm doing. I'm just like
Yeah.
grabbing it up and flicking it over. It's not gonna work. So we'll see. Maybe I'll give it another shot and get like 1 view on it because of the shadow banning, happening.
You have to. It's so weird. It's weird because I feel like if you have the knife already open, like they don't mess with you that much. But I feel like when you do this, it gets
When
like
you do it, well, and that's all my videos.
they call it dangerous acts. No, but what's crazy is like they have people shooting in the range, but that
You do, and
I'm not saying that's dangerous, right?
right.
But in comparison to a person flicking open a knife, like there is more danger even at the range, like, you're showing like gunplay and stuff like that, which I have nothing against, by the way. I know I live in New York City. If I could have guns, I would. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like that, but yeah, it's crazy that they do. They have people like using dynamite and shit. Like,
Oh, yeah. Hey,
yeah,
I've seen, I'm part of another great community on Instagram as well. I'm
yeah,
part of this group called the Gun Girls, and
yeah,
it's great. And yes, they post on TikTok all the time, and uh, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And
yeah.
it's kind of this never-ending story. And a lot of our content, I feel, my Instagram, I think, has suffered a little bit when I started posting knives, and I do post some guns there as well. So you know, there's always something that's going to be frowned upon, I feel like, but it's part of my lifestyle, and I can't just not post what I love. So I will continue to do it.
And truer words have never been said. A true nerd, a true knife person, and a truly awesome gal. Thank you for doing the podcast. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and LittleFitDevil saying peace.
Peace.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.